Hey y'all, let me take you back to a day that started so ordinary it could have been any Tuesday. But by the end, it flipped my whole world upside down. Mine and my two girls, Lena and Lila, 8-year-old twins with more heart than most grown folks I know. We were at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, bags packed, ready to fly out to see my mom, Ruby, in Memphis. Just had hip surgery, and we were going to help her out. But 10 minutes before boarding, everything went sideways, and I mean sideways, like something out of a movie you wish you could pause and rewrite. Picture this. I'm standing at the gate, Lena's nose buried in a science book, Lila clutching her stuffed bunny like it's her lifeline, both of them buzzing about visiting Grandma Ruby's famous backyard garden. I'm James Carter, a 50-year-old community college history teacher, widower, trying to keep my girls grounded after losing their mom, Sarah, to cancer 5 years ago. I'm checking our boarding passes, doing my usual mental checklist: IDs, snacks, headphones, when this guy in a cheap suit, looking like he's auditioning for a bad cop show, walks up. "Sir, step aside," he says, voice flat, eyes locked on me like I'm smuggling something. I'm thinking, okay, random security check, no big deal. I've been through this before. Black guy traveling with kids, it happens. But then 2 more officers show up, and before I can say, "What's this about?" they've got my arms pinned, pushing me to the ground, right in front of my girls. "Daddy!" Lila screams, her bunny hitting the floor as she lunges forward, only to be grabbed by a flight attendant who looks as panicked as I feel. Lena's frozen, her books slipping from her hands, shouting, "He's our dad. Check his ticket, please." The terminal's a circus now, passengers staring, phones out, recording like this is their entertainment for the day. Some lady mutters, "He must have done something." And I catch her eye, thinking, "Lady, you don't know me." But the sting of her words lands anyway. They're saying my name, James Carter, flagged a no-fly list, some guy from Houston with the same name. Apparently, a security threat. I'm trying to stay calm, telling them, "I'm from Dallas, I teach history, I've got my ID right here." But they're not listening. They're just barking orders, and all I can think about is my girls watching their dad treated like a criminal. They haul me to a holding room, and I'm sitting there, hands shaking, not from fear for myself, but for Lena and Lila, alone in that gate area, probably terrified. I keep thinking about Sarah, how she'd always say, "James, show them who you are, not who they think you are." So I keep my voice steady, answer their questions, show my ID, my faculty badge, anything to prove I'm just a dad trying to get to Memphis. Meanwhile, the girls are in some airport office with a TSA officer named MS. Thompson, who's trying to be kind but can't hide the awkwardness. Lena, my little scholar, steps up, all 8 years of her, and says, "Our dad signed us up for the unaccompanied minor program, just in case. Check the system." And sure enough, there it is, me backup plan, because I'm the guy who always has one. MS. Thompson's eyes widen, like she didn't expect a kid to outsmart the paperwork, and she says, "Well, I'll be darned, you're right." Back in the holding room, they finally admit it's a mix-up, James Carter from Houston, not me. They let me go with a half-hearted, "Sorry for the inconvenience." Like that erases the image of my girls crying. I rush back to the gate, scoop Lena and Lila into my arms, and we barely make the flight. On the plane, Lila's glued to the window, trying to forget, but Lena's quiet, her eyes searching mine, asking questions she's too young to have to ask. I tell them, sometimes people make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes hurt because of how we look. But we hold our heads high, okay? They nod, but I know something's shifted. Lena's already writing in her journal, and I can feel her gears turning. When we get to Memphis, Mom's waiting, all 5 feet of her, looking like she's ready to take on the entire TSA. Ruby Carter doesn't mess around. She's a retired nurse who's seen it all, and she's furious, but she holds it together for the girls, hugging them tight, saying, "My babies, you're safe now." That night, over her famous fried chicken, Lena starts talking about writing our story, not just for us, but for other kids who might feel scared like she did. Lila chimes in. "I'll draw the pictures," her way of processing, always through art. Mom pulls out my granddad's old letters from when he moved to Chicago in the 40s, facing his own battles, and reads us one. They push me aside, but I wrote it down so it's not forgotten. Lena's eyes light up. She sees it, the thread connecting us across time. So we start writing, me and Lena, with Lila sketching these heartbreakingly beautiful drawings of us at the airport, then together again, stronger. We posted on my blog, just a little history teacher's corner of the internet, but it blows up people sharing their own stories, thanking us for giving words to their pain. Then, out of nowhere, an editor from a kids' book publisher, Maria Lopez, emails us. She wants to turn our story into a picture book, says Lena's words and Lila's art could help kids everywhere feel seen. We're floored. Me girls, not even 9, could be published authors? We jump in, spending months crafting 10 minutes to take off, a story about fear, family, and finding your voice. The day of the book launch, a year later, we're at a Dallas bookstore, Lena and Lila at a signing table, Mom beaming like she's won the lottery. Lena reads a line from the book. We were scared, but we learned our voices matter, even when we're small. The crowd claps, some folks crying, others nodding like they've been there. I'm standing there, trying not to tear up, thinking about Sarah, how proud she'd be. The final page shows Lila's drawing of us 3, hand in hand, with "Our family is strong" written above. But here's the thing, those security officers, they never really apologized, not in a way that felt real. And I wonder, will this happen again? Will some other dad, some other kid, face the same thing because of a name, a look, a system that doesn't see us clearly? So, y'all, that's our story, not just a bad day at the airport, but what we did with it. I want to hear from you. What do you think about this? Have you ever faced something unfair and turned it into something powerful? Drop it in the comments, share your story, because I believe every voice counts, just like my girls learned. And if this hit you, give us a like, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going. Because change, it starts with us, one story at a time.